Chapter 12. Supernova.
No,
Cato said and crossed his arms. He sat at a table in his dimly lit basement with the members he had chosen for his team. However, among them were two additional faces he hadn't counted on.
No!
Rain was obviously not pleased with her lord's decision. She was one of the people at the table who hadn't been invited by Cato, but showed a strong determination to come along on the mission. Her lord might have expected his refusal to be accepted with a pair of meek puppy eyes, but instead her celestial blues projected a defiant fury.
What do you mean, no? That's not fair, Lord Cato, not fair at all. You have always told me that once I have proven myself worthy, I could join you and Raven on your journeys. But now I see that you are just a liar, and I will never forget this.
She too crossed her arms, making it clear that she wasn't going to concede that easily. Cato flinched and winced. He did remember saying that before. Many times, in fact, if he really took the effort to dig deep into his memories. Ever since the young blonde discovered her blessing 3 years ago, she had been relentlessly harassing him about it. So far, he had managed to parry every single one of her pleas with great success. Usually she would accept her defeat without putting up too much of a fight. At times she would mope and say that she would never speak with him again, but that was nothing but a hollow threat. They both knew she could never sulk for too long. He didn't call her sunshine for nothing. This time was different, however. He had never seen such fire in her eyes before.
well, first of all,
He said and uneasily shifted in his seat.
you have only proven yourself in training. Actual combat experience is required before you get to call yourself worthy. Second, this may not be a mere diplomatic endeavour we're talking about, and we most certainly will not be going to Deriva as a bunch of tourists. Things could easily get out of hand. Someone might even get hurt.
Well, first of all,
She imitated him with a nagging mock voice.
I have only proven myself in training because you only let me prove myself in training. What else can I do? I have never been given a fair chance.
She annoyedly blew a strand of hair from her face and leaned in closer.
Second, do you really expect me to sit idly by while you and my brother wander off into some dangerous territory? No, Lord Cato, you taught me better than that. I'm not a child anymore. You know I am capable. You know I can be useful.
Cato pinched the bridge of his nose and heaved a heavy sigh. He gave the dark-skinned man sitting next to him a lazy slap on the arm.
Say something, Raven. This is your little sister we're talking about here.
I am not little.
Younger then, whatever. It doesn't change how dangerous this mission might be.
He gave his lieutenant a second slap on the arm.
Will you say something already, man?
Raven rubbed his beard and gave his lord an apologetic smile.
Sorry,
Don't say sorry unless you have something to apologise for.
Raven laughed and shrugged.
I don't know what you expect me to say, Kay. You did tell her many times before.
Many times before.
Rain reiterated to emphasize the fact.
That you'd bring her along if Jada thinks she's ready.
He turned his beaming grin to the pale-skinned woman at the far side of the table. Jada looked back at Raven with pronounced indifference.
I have already expressed my opinion, Lieutenant.
See?
Rain exclaimed.
That's 3 against 1.
And since when has this become a goddamn democracy?
Cato buried his face into one of his palms and mumbled something inaudible, but it sounded like he was asking if ducks were fake.
I would have to rethink our approach.
He then said, and poured himself a fresh cup of chrysanthemum tea.
So,
Rain said,
it's not as if your plan didn't have to be revisited anyway.
About that.
Cato aimed his eyes at the scruffy man next to Jada with a bushy, unkempt set of hair, as well as a messy, uneven beard.
Why are you even here?
Peyton licked his teeth and shrugged.
Got invited.
No one invited you, Peyton Falstar.
I told you, Lord Cato.
Jada said in a way that perfectly matched her indifferent demeanour.
I'm not going anywhere without Pate. If you want my help, he's coming along.
Fucking straight.
Peyton concurred.
Pete and Jade and Air separate.
That's just adorable.
Cato said, and blew raspberries until he was completely deflated. With his tongue still left hanging between his teeth, He turned to the mountainous man sitting next to Raven.
What about you, Cam? You seem awfully quiet tonight. Nothing to say?
The gargantuan only grinned back in silence. Cameron of Serenity Hills was born without the gift of speech and communicated exclusively using his hands. So he did just that and let his lord know exactly what was on his mind. Cato responded with a cynical laughter.
Yeah, keep talking, my friend. I know we're off to a great start here.
Is it safe to assume that we are done here then?
Koba, the skinny, bald-headed healer, finally spoke up after having spent the entire evening as talkative as Cameron.
The 7 of us will go to Deriva, yes?
No.
Cato turned around to the sudden sound of an unknown voice. He was expecting to see the woman who said it in the doorway at the end of his dimly lit basement. Instead, he was staring wide-eyed and up close at a set of hips with a couple of daggers loosely dangling from the sides. He was at a loss for words and couldn't quite understand how this woman got into his basement without any of them noticing. He slowly rose from his seat, but froze halfway there when he was staring into the most beautiful pair of eyes he had ever seen. They were green, gold, bronze, aquamarine, and everything in between, brightly sparkling like gemstones in the flickering candlelight. Her eyes reminded him of the stories his master once told him when he was younger, how stars would explode into the most wonderfully colourful spectacles at the end of their lives. He always fantasized what that would look like, and now he finally knew.
Supernova,
He muttered under his breath. The woman responded with a puzzled frown.
Pardon me?
Cato didn't respond, or perhaps wasn't able to respond. All thoughts had fled his mind in an instant. He kept his eyes on her shattered stars and didn't even resist the urge to just keep staring. It stayed quiet for a moment, but it felt like a lifetime had already passed when he finally forced himself to say something, anything, before the situation would become too awkward.
It's when a star is at the end of its life cycle.
He began, but promptly stopped talking when he realized what a babbling fool he must seem to her, even though she was courteous enough not to show it.
Actually, never mind. Forget I said anything.
In the corner of his eyes, he saw that Rain was giving him a teasing grin. He gave her a snarl, but that quickly changed into a grin of his own. He and Rain always did have the same taste in women. He turned back to the unknown woman.
Sorry,
don't say sorry unless you have something to apologize for.
Raven said, imitating Cato's voice.
Shush, Raven.
Cato coughed into his fist to clear his throat.
Anyway, don't mind us. Can we help you, Miss?
Bloodthorn. My name is Maya Bloodthorn.
She said with a smile. Upon hearing the name, every member from Cato's team climbed up from their seats and showed her a deep bow.
Lady Maya!
They all said in unison with the exception of the speechless giant.
Right.
Cato mumbled absently. He couldn't believe what he was hearing, nor could he believe what he was seeing. This was not the Maya Bloodthorn he had in mind. He always just pictured a slightly more feminine version of Marcus. Longer hair, no beard, less muscular. That would pretty much be it. He was wrong. So very wrong. Of course, he didn't have any references, as Maya was the only female ever to be born a Bloodthorn. But she looked nothing like her brother. She didn't have his ruby eyes. That much was obvious. Her gems were many times more valuable, many times more beautiful. She lacked many features that all male members of her clan possessed, characteristics that made a Bloodthorn a Bloodthorn. She didn't have the masculine, well-defined jawline, the thin, condescending, downward-turned lips, the broad, slightly flattened tip of the nose, the pointy ears that always reminded Cato of the blade of an axe. The list of features she didn't have compared to a typical Bloodthorn went on and on. In retrospect, Maya's appearance shouldn't have come as a surprise at all. She wasn't just the daughter of Mycon Bloodthorn, she was the daughter of Nea Seraphine as well. It was obvious that Maya received her looks from her mother. Cato glanced at his team before turning his full attention back to her with a courteous smile.
Welcome to the club, Lady Maya.
Whoa. Now hold up just a sec, Captain.
Peyton cleared his throat in the most conspicuous and obnoxious way.
So let me just get this straight then, yeah? You gonna ride my ass 'cause I ain't got no invitation or what have you? Out of nowhere, some purty little birdie comes landing. Ain't even have to shake her tail feather or nothing. She getting a free pass just like that? Nah, that's bullshit, I'm telling you.
He shifted his eyes to Maya.
No offence, m'lady.
She waved off the apology with a grin.
I'm sure I heard a compliment in there somewhere.
That's where you are wrong, Peyton. See, unlike you, Lady Maya has actually been invited to this meeting. She is a valuable addition to the team and will be joining us by the recommendation of Grandmaster Aemon, Master Mycon, and Master Nia. So before you—
Lord Cato is to be my master.
Maya casually interrupted.
Excuse me?
Raven blurted out, shocked and offended.
Kay, I've been with you for years. You taught me all that I know, the things we've been through together. Man, you never let me call you my mas.
I am not her master.
Cato sharply interjected and turned back to Maya.
I am not your master,
he said in a hushed voice. She looked back at him with a peculiar amusement on her face, but otherwise remained silent.
So then the 8 of us will head for Doriva, I take it.
Koba asked while yawning. He seemed eager to reach for a conclusion and to leave this dark and dank basement of Cato's cliffside mansion. Cameron made a few signs with his hands that brought a chuckle out of Maya.
I am not that old,
Koba said in annoyance.
but I do try to get 8 hours of sleep every day.
With a missus like yours, Cobes, I too wouldn't mind going to bed early and often.
Raven joined in on the banter. Cato pinched the bridge of his nose and sighed.
You people are the worst.
He grumbled.
The absolute fucking worst.
Are we done, my lord?
Jada asked. Even she seemed eager to leave, which probably meant that the meeting already went on for far too long.
Yes, please.
Cato answered, still halfway buried inside his hand.
Go home. I need time to think and formulate a new strategy. Get some rest and report back here at sunrise. I guess we'll discuss the new plan along the way.
Rain made a sound that resembled a hungry piglet.
Does that mean that...
Cato nodded.
But only on the condition that you promise me to obey every single command.
Yes!
And that you will stay close to either me, Raven, or Jada at all times.
Yes!
At all times, Rain.
Yes, yes, yes!
She jumped up and swung her arms around him.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you! Lord Cato, have I already told you that you are the best? The very best!
Yeah. Just don't make me regret it, Sunshine. It's still a risky mission we're talking about here. Now go home, get rested, and make sure you're ready in the morning.
Oh, don't you worry, my lord. I'll be ready.
She said and gave him a kiss on the cheek.
Good night, Lord Cato. Don't stay up too late.
Cato slumped into his chair as he heard his subordinates leave through the door behind him. He puffed up his cheeks and slowly let the air run out his lungs. He stared at the flickering candlelight and thought about the adjustments he had to make in his plans. The tiny flame was dancing in a hypnotic rhythm, but he started tapping his fingers on the table to a completely different beat. It was time to rid himself of any distractions and get serious.